Oh my God, don't you know who I am by now? I'm Benny Goodman.
We apologize to everyone's eardrums.
We literally just talked about you screaming into the mic.
I know, that's why I did it. Have you not noticed? Like, I just 2020 you guys all again. Are you guys getting this? Is this in your vernacular? Are you walking around like in Boston going, I just 2020 that dude in Duncan?
No one's doing that. But anyways, today we have part 2 of our episode with Jason Costa, the legendary drummer of All That Remains. He's going to hate me for saying that so much.
Legendary drinker.
Legendary drinker. And this is probably like the funniest, or at least the most I've laughed so far in any podcast we've done.
Oh, absolutely. It was some of the ways that he described Starset, the band that I play, and was just like killed me laughing.
Yeah. He should be on like the roast where like he literally just sits there and just heckles at people because like he is so maybe
quick.
faster with his wit than he is with his feet, which is crazy because he's really fast with his feet. And he knows a lot about bugs and uses the word contrarian properly. So, like, I mean, if that doesn't
smart guy
speak to his nature as a human being, and also be an oxymoron as a drummer, because what drummer knows what contrarian means?
The one, the only, Jason Costa.
Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Benny Goodman, and welcome to 2020, where Siobhán thinks it's totally appropriate to suck up her alcohol in frozen form. And
best thing ever. We're looking for sponsors.
Over there is Cory Peza wearing the Guns N' Roses, and thankfully joining us from another room in my studio. You know, we're socially distant. Even
right near the
in
cat
studio.
box.
We got Jason Costa, the drummer from All That Remains and Diecast, and really a longtime friend of all of us here.
Yes.
So
it's
with
very
that
strange.
said,
It's very strange when you introduce me like that because I don't really know you guys like that. It's, you know, I know you as just regular, whatever. Fucking
like regular
go drinking,
people.
just going and drinking at a bar. Not that people that aren't in bands aren't regular people. It's I didn't want to get caught up in that.
Cory and I are going to Wikipedia and putting like we are friends with Jason Costa.
It's very strange, yeah.
You can talk about Jason. How'd we meet?
One of my favorite bands ever to go watch play is Backstage Pass.
That's so true, dude. You are so devoted.
That is
to
like my
band.
favorite fucking live band to go see play. Yeah, I'm not even joking.
Yeah, no.
I'm so bummed out that I missed you guys the last time you played. But did Adam play with you guys the last time?
No, he couldn't make it up. I don't think. Yeah. Though we were supposed to have.
He's too busy making millions of dollars being a plastic surgeon, doing something with his life.
No. I told him to go down to Brazil and make boobs, and he didn't do it. He didn't do it.
Slight backstory.
He's like doing heart surgery or something now. Stupid.
Yeah, vascular surgeon.
I'm pretty sure he's also married to like a hyper genius that's also making crazy money. And I'm pretty sure that at his wedding they gave him like $1 million dowry or some kind of crazy shit. That was like all like straight.
That thing weighed as much as a car. Around his head.
Yeah. There's a friend of ours who's in a band called Backstage Pass that I'm also in, which is a very, very super weird band that dresses up funny and plays 80s hair metal.
That's not weird.
Guys are awesome.
No, that sounds awesome. I was like, you can't say dressing up and playing 80s hair metal is weird because I play in a band with men who wear spandex and space helmets.
And they take themselves seriously.
They take themselves seriously. Yeah.
Yes, not true. No, so that's one of the reasons, and that's how I got to know Jason. It was awesome. I remember playing.
Guys, and you're not giving yourself enough credit, by the way. You guys are all fantastic musicians. Matt has got a ridiculous voice.
Yep, our singer. Yeah, he's crazy.
Fucking
That's awesome.
Adam is one of the best guitarists. I think Adam's fantastic at guitar, as much as it swells his head up even more to talk about it. But he's fucking awesome. I wanted him to try out for All That Remains. I'm not even joking. But I don't know if he'd look the part. He would look like a doctor. He would look like a doctor on stage when he played.
Yeah,
he looked like Brendan Fraser as a doctor ripping on guitar, right?
Yeah, I'm sure he'd love to hear the Brendan Fraser.
He hates that, but you know what? It would be like Airheads.
He looks just like him.
It'd be like Airheads. He does look like Brendan Fraser, dude.
He does.
So one of the funnier stories and one of the first times that I got to hang out with you at your gig instead of you coming to my gig, which is hilarious to think about. We went down to Pawtucket, I think, or somewhere around there. You guys were playing FET, I think.
Oh my God, that show.
It was like someone threw it on the end of your tour. It was the weirdest show ever.
It was just tacked on at the end of the tour. It was like one of those like the last drive of the tour was from fucking Zimbabwe. So you're trying to pay for the gas money for the bus, and you just book shows. So that was a very last minute. Crazy.
And I don't think they told anyone. Like, it was the weirdest show ever.
It was very strange.
We go there and we went on the bus and we're hanging out with the band. Everyone's super cool. Adam's there. Adam is always the life of the party. Somehow he just managed to like intertwine with everyone. But at some point, it came up that it would be funny if Adam put on women's spandex.
Oh, yeah.
Ran onto stage and stood behind Ollie while he was playing a solo.
Forgot about that.
In the middle of the show, Adam, a distinguished medical doctor at this point,
really good doctor,
put on women's spandex with kitty cats on them.
Yeah,
perfect.
Kitty cats with upside down crosses.
Yeah.
Yes, upside down crosses. Ran out onto stage and stood behind Ollie. Like this. Ollie had no idea. He's just doing his Ollie thing in the front of the stage. And then as he walked around, Adam followed him.
Yeah.
And he didn't see him the whole time.
He saw him and didn't know what to do, so he just ignored him.
Better.
What a consummate professional.
Everywhere he went, he was just following around and Adam, for anyone who's seen Backstage Pass, which is no one that's watching this podcast, is not afraid to wear spandex and
own it
and
present.
Own it.
Yeah, he owns it and makes sure that every nook and cranny is
like
visible.
Axl Rose style.
Yeah, all the bits and parts.
Yeah.
Well, if anything happens to our band, we've got to stand in. Apparently,
if there's such thing as a moose knuckle.
Yes. So he continued to follow Ollie around for I think an entire song, and then tried to crowd surf. But if I remember correctly, the crowd was not willing to catch him, and it didn't go well.
Oh, poor Adam.
I think he just kind of casually got off stage, and it was never spoken about again.
They have no idea how good of a guitar player he actually is.
Yeah, Adam. Yeah, he's
fucking incredible.
He's great.
And it was always nice too, because Jason, no matter what you were doing, no matter how big your band was, you were always supporting local music. You'd come see Cory and I, and always
our little bands.
Oh yeah,
our little shit bands that we con you into, and you'd be sitting in the back there just fucking drinking.
Like, I go to random shows by myself.
That's awesome.
I go to random shows by myself in Boston. I'm not even joking. Like,
I'll
find out where a death metal show or even like a black metal show, bands I've never even heard of, and I'll just go chill out for like an hour or two, until I'm like, maybe I shouldn't drink more and drive home. Okay, I got to go. I'll go and buy a couple shirts from the bands and stuff, and then take off. Yeah, oh yeah,
that's huge.
Yeah, and I never really, it's funny because when I go, I always feel like I'm going to meet people or whatever, and I never do. I just end up at the bar by myself, being the creepy weird dude, drinking beer until I'm getting a little drunk, and then I go home.
I think it was Rachel that told me that you'll go to, even at your own shows sometimes, you'll go to the back of the bar, and if you take your bandana off, everyone just walks by you.
Oh yeah, that was when I was wearing the bandana all the time. Yeah, I actually haven't worn the bandana in like 2-3 years now, but that's what was happening back then. Like I'd play with the bandana on, and then I could take it off and no one would know. We were at the Palladium one time. Incognito.
We're at the Palladium and we were hanging out backstage. And hey, let's go. Check out the band before you guys went on. And we walked out to the bar. We're in the masses. We're doing shots. We're hanging out. And I think Ben was there too. And everyone is just walking by. And oh yeah, they're all wearing all the Remain shirts.
Yeah, if Phil or Mike or Ollie walk, they just get mobbed. I'm just standing there, and I took my black rag off my head. So
funny. That's like all of us when we're not in costume, because I go out into Gen Pop all the time, run back to I don't know, grab things from the merch girl, whatever. Yeah. And
you dropped it. You dropped it, the Gen Pop.
I wasn't trying to make it sound derogatory. But what else would I say out into what? The not backstage
Don't take anything
area?
I say serious. I'm just busting balls.
I know. No, but that happens to me. They're like, well, this blonde girl maybe looks familiar, but we don't know who she is. And I'm like, good. Doesn't matter.
Yeah, but the thing is that you look like you could be a lot of different people, Siobhán, to a lot of different people.
Like who?
That's exactly the problem.
Well, that's actually for a girl, because I know, because we had Jeannie in the band for a long time. For a girl, it's maybe even better that they don't really know who you are.
Probably.
I mean, you get guys that are drinking and they see you up on stage, and how guys are. It can be crazy. So yeah, it's probably good that you can do that, and because Jeannie used to get mobbed. No joke.
Really?
Jason, I'm curious. What are the fans that come up to you? Are there all the Remains fans, or do you get a lot of drummer fans? Like, do you have the guys, dude, that paradiddle you did in like the middle of that fill?
I get both, but when I get someone like that, I don't mind talking about, drums and stuff like that. But if they start getting a little too much, I derail it. I go straight to the, let's get some fucking shots. That's it. I'll get that motherfucker hammered. He won't even be able to talk about anything. We sit by the end of the bar.
So that's how I ended up drunk so many times.
Yeah.
Oh man, you're the worst.
Just drink this whole Scorpion Bowl.
Yeah.
And we got to talk about this over here.
As soon as Ben starts asking questions,
as soon as Benny comes around, I go right into the melt program. I just gotta melt him.
I honestly wish that more people would ask me about violin stuff, but literally just today, somebody commented on like some video I posted and they said, what brand of cello do you use?
Yeah.
So that's literally what I'm dealing with. Like, first of all, there aren't brands, there are makers. And that's
at least you played
not
As
a
I Lay
cello.
Dying. You're totally appealing to a new crowd, which I think is really cool.
No, I mean, it's great. Like, I'm not, like, I can't blame people for, well, I can blame people for not knowing. But anyway, whatever. That aside, I wish that I would get nerdy violin questions, but I never
Well,
do.
I guarantee you, if you play something of Jason Richardson, he'll probably ask you something nerdy because he's the ultimate, like, Ollie was like, there's another nerd that's as crazy as me.
Yeah, well, no, that's why Ollie and I got along, because we did talk about technique stuff, and that was cool.
You really should play some Jason Richardson song. He's got a zillion of his own. I think he probably might have more fans than the fucking band does on social media. I'm not joking.
To watch some of his stuff because that would be awesome. I want to learn about like guitar technique and like all the like cool things that guitar players do.
You should like bring up Hose Down like right now on the screen.
That's the song.
Reaction.
Oh yeah, if you want to do the song, you want to do it the right way.
Pull it up.
Go do Hose Down for real. It is.
You pull it up right now. Like let's watch your reaction. I'm curious.
Wait, where?
YouTube.
Okay, I know YouTube, but okay, so like what do I look up?
Jason Richardson, Hose Down.
Hose Down.
Hose Down, like HOSE?
It'll come up. It'll come up. HOS.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, HOS, like.
Yeah, because the middle of the song, it's like a hoedown. He does the most ridiculous solo. He said it's one of the hardest things you've ever played.
Starset, the drummer that plays on Starset's new record.
Okay. It says, Jason Richardson.
He plays on her album. He plays on Starset's record.
Luke is ridiculous.
The record that she's on.
When Jason joined the band, I looked at him. I was like, dude, he came in, we were like hanging out after a couple of rehearsals. I'm like, you realize I'm not Luke though, right? Like, just want to make sure, like, that kid he's a Jason Richardson on drums. Like,
you gotta watch this.
Why does it say I dislike this video? I don't dislike this video.
What'd you do?
Jason's gonna know because he's gonna watch this. He's gonna be like, why do I have a dislike? Everyone loves my music.
I've never seen Luke Holland before. I didn't think
Luke Holland plays on your own record. That's the funny part.
I know he plays on the record. I'm saying I've never seen it.
Okay, well, we gotta watch her reaction.
I can't hear it because you're screaming. That's insane. Like,
the middle part is crazy.
I know because Brock is like every day talking about how insane some of this guitar stuff is, and that looks just unreal.
Well, that's who's in All That Remains that replaced our friend Ollie. And I don't mean replaced, but he's the guy that's taking over for our dear friend Ollie.
Yeah.
He looks how old is he? He's so young, right?
I don't know, 12.
He looks like he's 5.
Might as well. I mean,
no, but like he and Luke in this video, they literally look like they're
at this point,
like
everyone else is 12.
Yeah, no, I mean, no, I'm going to watch this whole thing. That's
the middle part of that song. That's the part that is just mind-blowingly ridiculous.
Yeah, go to the middle. Let's see.
You should just go to the middle now. And actually kind of hold it to the microphone a little bit so everyone else can hear it a little bit too.
Okay.
I guess if he's going to sue us, he'll know.
Can you guys hear it?
It's when That's not even it.
Oh, okay. Now they're in their hoedown stuff.
That's not even it. Here it is. Coming up, I think.
She plays fiddle. Dude, you gotta do it with him.
That's your next cover. That's your next cover right there.
I mean, yeah. So this is his thing. He wrote this?
Oh, yes.
Yeah. Wow.
He's insane.
I think he's working on a new album right now, too.
That's amazing. I mean, the internet, like, it's crazy. Just like the whole YouTube generation, like people, like if you're really good, you can get people to notice it. I mean, that's amazing.
Yeah.
I mean, that's more power to them. That's amazing.
Yeah, at this point, it's like it's crazy at this point though, because the skill level is so up there now. If you're trying to do it on skill, it's unbelievably. Some of these people that are out there playing, not even just kids, just people,
right?
They're playing are just unreal, so good, so good.
That's great though. I mean, to have even access to seeing those things, you know, like it,
I know.
That's
can you imagine
what you pay for in education? Yeah.
Can you imagine? Because we were talking about earlier, like, you know, Cory and you and I, like, we used to practice so hard.
Mm-hmm.
And I had a teacher, and I took lessons from every week and everything, and I used to practice. If I had access to, because the internet wasn't around, you know.
Right.
Yeah.
I barely had a fucking pager back then. Beep beep beep. 911. Oh, it's John again. It's not an emergency, John. I'll be at the party tonight. What the fuck? You know, like. You know, you remember that, you know. So, you know, if we had access to, you know, that would have been so amazing. You'd be so much better where you can go now and look, you know.
It's funny you say that because my mom loves to tell this story of like, you know, because obviously I was born in this country, like I'm American, but, you know, I get used to the level of like classical music playing in America. And for the first time when I was 18, I went to the Czech Republic and I did this like music festival that was all like classical violinists. And my mom tells this story of like how I called her and I was like crying. I was like, I'm literally the worst one here. Everyone here is so good. But that's the thing is like, obviously that was kind of before YouTube, like just shortly before people started uploading videos and stuff. But like just that experience of being exposed to like even a different country worth of like classical violinists and how they play and like the level they were at. Like I totally started practicing in a completely different way after that. Because I was like, wow, this is really how good some people in the world are. Yep. You know, and it's just exposure. You know, that's sometimes all you need.
And I'm curious to hear actually, as someone who's been in the industry, like you've seen it all. You've done that touring from the van that breaks down. Well, you've been at least from the range of the bus that breaks down every 5 minutes to being in All Their Mains, which is an amazing band that's
and buses still impact. Let me tell you, buses still break down all the time.
For sure, they definitely
do. It doesn't matter what band you're in. You could
they definitely
sell 10 million albums a year, and your bus is still gonna fucking break down sometimes.
That's true.
Yeah,
but at least someone comes to fix it if you're in All Their Mains, I hope.
Yeah, sometimes.
So what, as far as like
tweets about it and someone comes.
Yeah. As far as like, what's the biggest shift you've seen as a touring musician, as you know, a recording artist? Has there been like a very big shift that you've seen, or has it been more of a gradual shift in the sense of how the business works and how being in a band is perceived and how your lifestyle goes?
I don't know, like. You make less money on like album sales and things like that, of course, because people downloading things are free. But now, like if you're if you're of an entrepreneur mindset, you can make a lot of money doing things like what you guys are doing, podcasts and things like Jason Richardson.
We're still waiting for a sponsor.
Like, things like it depends on like your viewers and things and like
viewers. Yeah.
I mean, dude,
sponsor us.
Yeah, right. I mean, dudes are playing Worlds of Warcraft online and making $1 million.
We were talking about that.
We had this exact conversation. Yeah, you're right.
My brother.
I mean, so that's how it's changing. But I mean, you can still make like. I feel like if you're a band that you're getting like so our band, our videos, some of them will get 20 million downloads, but we're not selling 20 million albums.
Mm-hmm.
So like, technically, if you equate that to 20 years ago, whatever, we should all be millionaires.
Yeah.
So, but we're not. We make a decent living. It's like a good business. We're working for a good business. We get the corner office with the window. That's what it is now for bands at that echelon. But there are still like bigger echelons that are around, like Five Finger Death Punch. Those guys make tons of money. And it's just I feel like it's harder, I guess, to move echelons. Like to go from the band in the van to the band in the bus, and then the band in the bus to the band with, the buses and the trailers to bring your stage show with you. Like, I feel like it's almost harder to do that. Well, I'm going to tell you right now, that type of, and for the last like bunch of years, that type of music where you have this imagery, in this moment and all those bands, stuff like that, they're doing really well. It's a thing. It's like it's a thing right now.
Well, according to Forbes, it's 2 billion things.
Yeah, and you also have to be good at it. Like, they're not just shitty bands that are putting on makeup and getting big. I mean, otherwise there'd be a million huge bands out there that do it. They're good bands still, but they are doing the image thing and doing it in such a way where people like it. Like, it's less cheesy than than it could be.
Absolutely.
Well, with Starset, a lot of it
way
is
to do it, and there's the wrong way to do it. So
right. Well, with Starset, it's like the backstory and the fact that there's so many like side things. I mean, there's like the sci-fi novel, and then there's the whole narrative.
I think when I first saw them, they were doing the sci-fi thing, and I was like, "What the fuck? What the fuck is Ghostbusters doing on stage?" They have their metal jackets.
No. That is so nice compared to what. Okay, when we played at Sturgis, and for anyone who doesn't know,
this was before I heard them. I just saw them set up.
I know.
I remember like our manager was managing them or something. I'm like. And we
were on the same label for a while because you guys were on Razor and Tie, and we were on Razor and Tie for a while.
Steve Hutton, you guys?
Oh yeah, of course, Steve Hutton. Yeah,
and I saw them setting up at a festival for the very first time, and you guys had those. It was the mirrored jumpsuits on or whatever. I'm like, the fuck. Because he didn't tell me that. He just said, "Oh, this band, you got to go check this band out." Because he probably knew I was going to be like, "What the fuck?"
Well, that's what like a lot of people say. But it's funny. I don't remember what podcast we were talking about this, but like when you're opening for a band that's like completely different from you. So you mentioned Five Finger Death Punch. Somehow we ended up on a tour where they were headlining and we were like opening. And the number of times they got called space faggots and like space fags doing in the spandex.
I wasn't gonna say that. I was gonna say that. I've heard that name, but the thing is, I think the music's good, the band's good, everything's.
But usually directed at Starset, right? Just not, or Five Finger Death Punch. I guess.
No, it was directed at us. But I mean, of course, it's
every band gets shit on.
Yeah, no, I mean, it's just
everyone can just hide behind a computer and be an asshole. So
right, exactly, exactly.
No, every band gets shit on. It doesn't matter who they are.
The important thing is that it's backed up. I had the same reaction. We went to see, we were friends with Siobhán, and when she was recording with us, I didn't know anything about Starset. And then she invited us out. We went to see them. You guys played the Palladium. And that was the first time I saw, we get shit-faced. I saw Brock donning the spacesuit and like the hockey pad look. I'm like, what is happening right now? I'm like, we were having drinks at the bar across the street beforehand, and I'm like, I'm like so pumped for this show. I'm like, I do not know what to expect. And then I remember we were sitting side stage, and you guys had like trivia before you guys went on stage, and there was literally like on the big like LED screens was like trivia questions and answers, and Dustin was sitting there, and he's watching, and he's watching that come up, and he's watching the crowd, and the crowd fucking loved it. It was like, I forget the topics that it was, but he's like looking at the crowd, and he's watching 2,000 people in unison go like, like that. And he's like, yes, he's like, that was a great idea.
He's got great vision.
I'm watching.
Yeah, he does.
I'm like, this dude's like his marketing and his branding and his
he's got
image.
great vision.
It's phenomenal. And then Brock walked out in the spacesuit, and we were drunk. And I think I started dying laughing. Dying laughing, and I hope that wasn't taken the wrong way. And then you guys walked on stage. You guys walked on stage and murdered it. And the crowd, I've never seen a crowd so engaged. You guys are tight as a band, super heavy but accessible. It's like it's such a perfect concoction that you guys have. And afterwards, at no point was I like going home like that was a weird like spacey bullshit. That's what
you think it's going to be at first.
Siobhán, is that you guys are really lacking a live keyboard / DJ with the same haircut as all the other guys in the band.
You just have to send out a bunch of subliminal hints.
But other than that, I agree with Cory. I remember thinking to myself, what the fuck is this space shit? And then watching 2,000 people go, this is what the fuck the space shit is. And when we went and saw you guys at the Paradise, I say this story, I don't know if I said this on any of the podcasts, but like I was shooting a video or whatever, and I was like talking to I don't know if it was Cory or somebody, and the person next to me was like, how dare you talk during this proclamation, whatever you guys call your shows, you're like witnessing your event. And they were like offended. I'm like, I know these people. And they're like, we know these people too. They're from space. They're Starset. I'm like, oh my God, are we LARPing right now? Like, is Ashton Kutcher gonna come out? Like, and they were serious, dude. But that was everybody. It's like the only show I've ever been to where people are as into the band, wearing their their clothing into it is Iron Maiden. Not even Metallica. Iron Maiden.
Oh no, there's a lot of bands out there like so you guys didn't sound anything like I thought you were gonna sound like. The same thing happened to me the first time I went to go see Ghost.
Oh man.
Okay.
I was again I was playing at a festival and I'm like, okay, I keep hearing about this band Ghost. I've never heard them before, but they're gonna be, I bet you they're gonna be a wicked good like black metal band. Cool. Mm-hmm. So I go over because of the way they're dressed up, and I'm in Europe, right? So I go and see them play at this. They're playing, this is like when they first sort of came out, they played one of the sort of side stages, but it was jammed with people. And so I go over there, check them out, and they started playing. I'm like, wait, what? It was like new age Duran Duran. Like,
yeah. Dude,
like this is like devil worshipping in excess. What the
can I tell you?
Like, so, but it was good though. It
was really good.
Yeah, they do a good job at what they do. And that's the thing. That's the thing.
You think it's metal though, because it's so deceiving. So I went and saw them
on a lot of metal tours.
On a Lollapalooza. So listen, I saw them at Lollapalooza the same year as Black Sabbath, whatever, or maybe it was the year before. I went to Lollapalooza a bunch of years in a row in Chicago, and this is before they ever played anything big in Chicago. I got to give it to Perry Farrell. At one point, he did discover bands, and Ghost was one of those bands. And
did he? I didn't know that.
The Chicago newspaper always would have bands to watch on the different stages, and they would do like a little blurb on them, and there's all these boring indie bands like, we're the Lawnmowers, we're fucking, the Pink's Malaysian Salt, and then there's Ghost. And I'm like, all right, I'm interested, Ghost. And then like I saw the guy is like Pope, whatever his name is, with the thing, and I'm like, okay, I'm interested. And then they wrote like, this band is going to bring back, and they said metal like in the thing.
Yeah, you're thinking Dimmu Borgir.
You're thinking Dimmu Borgir. Yeah. So you're thinking like black metal, like double bass, crazy shit. You walk over and it's like they're covering Men at Work, and it sounds good. And it's like it's metal.
I love Men at Work, by the way.
Yeah, no, it is. But this or Tower of Power if it was metal. Yeah. But like you're not expecting. I was expecting Dimmu Borgir, and instead we got Duran Duran.
Yeah, one of our other repeat podcast guests is Richard Shaw from Cradle of Filth.
Oh my god!
He has like a series he's doing online, which is underrated riffs, or whatever. And he did a Ghost riff, and I think that he picked out the perfect one because they have some pretty badass like groove metal riffs. Like if I noticed that when I saw them, it was at a festival. I don't know if it was like a Warped Tour style festival at the Xfinity Center in Mansfield, and I just happened to catch them because they had masks on. You're walking by, there's a ton of bands playing. You're like, what the hell's going on over here? And I happened to walk in, and they were playing not Pantera, but Pantera feel like tempo riff. And I remember like it caught me. Out of all the bands you could hear out of the corner of your ears, I walked towards them because I heard this like groove metal, like just like that straight like backbeat. I was surprised because I actually heard all the negative Ghost shit.
You want to know what's surprising?
I think bands that dress up, they immediately get a bunch of shit, even if they're great.
I don't know what Jason thinks about this, but you know what band surprisingly is like that as well? Nickelback.
I think Nickelback is awesome, actually.
No, I love Nickelback.
I never understand the hatred for Nickelback.
So first off, I met Chad
they're
Kroeger
amazing musicians.
When they came
and their
to like the Halloween bash.
Ridiculous.
Well, yeah.
Immaculate production.
When they came to the WAF Halloween bash like 20 years ago with Three Doors Down, Chad Kroeger had just gotten his like first PRS sent to him.
Every album sounds like the Black Album.
And they were super nice. And they all loved Slayer and Metallica. And like they came out as Druids and like they got me drunk. I was like 17 going to fucking Northeastern. And like they gave me their Druid outfit and they got me high with the record label guy from Roadrunner Records because they were on the same label as Slipknot. So at one point they were like a pretty rockin' band.
Do you remember the Roadrunner guy's name?
Oh, dude, he was like this Armenian dude or something like that. He was like this big dude. Like, he showed up.
Sorry.
But yeah, the point was that they were super nice, and they actually kept in touch by email for months afterwards. Chad and his brother, who's the bass player, I can't even remember his name. Of course, they sold like 1 million records. They don't remember me, but they were so nice, and their records all sound incredible. And finally, people shit on them so much, but I saw them live a few times. And like their guitar player came out and he did this like Zakk Wylde 8-minute guitar solo. Dude, and then they went and played Walk by Pantera. And it was fucking, I've seen tons of bands cover Walk by Pantera. And this was a good cover of Walk by Pantera. And and even Devin Townsend is like from the same town in Canada, wherever the fuck they're from, and he thinks that it's genius because everyone thinks that Devin Townsend's like, you know, the modern Frank Zappa, but he's like, I can't write a fucking hit. Meanwhile, his boy Chad Kroger's driving around his Maybach going, hey, come on over. And if Devin Townsend from Strapping Young Lad is cool with this dude, I'm cool with him, dude. I got no problem.
Think what it is there's bands that get so popular that the industry takes them and shoves them in your face with like 2 songs.
Yeah, you get fatigued.
And you get fatigued, and then it becomes cool. It becomes cool, or at least there's so many contrarians in the world that it becomes like you have to go. I've heard this song 18 times. This band's terrible, and that's all it is. And it's like, well, clearly that's your whole perspective on the world.
Such a good word, contrarians.
Yeah,
they're they're the loudest too. They're the loudest people.
Yeah.
Listen,
they're the
obviously, people don't hate Nickelback. Go to an arena and watch them play a show in front of 70,000 people. So it's just people that whine and I heard the song. I heard the song a lot. I heard their pop song a lot. Yeah. You know, and it's like All That Remains kind of sometimes get the same shit. You guys had a great song that got radio play, you assholes. Yeah. I didn't listen to anything else you did. But I feel like
lately that's backing off a little bit, which is nice. But I get it. Nice. You know, people who like the heavy stuff, they only want to hear the heavy stuff. But you know,
I like when Phil gets on stage.
Not everyone.
This song's for your girlfriends, and he
of course. Phil has a lot of fun with it. You know, Phil has a lot of fun with the different songs. You know, we wouldn't play those songs if we didn't like them. You know.
Yeah, no, but the thing is, you guys your records have dynamics. You'll start a record off punching the audience in the face. And then at some point, someone can sing along, and that's not a bad thing.
Yeah, that's true. And it goes back to like even the earlier albums. There's always these breaks and things in them that were soft. And you know, Phil sang. He didn't just always scream all the time. You know, people they hear the Fall of Ideals, and that's the ones they always bring up. And I think they forget all the singing parts in the Fall of Ideals. Millions of singing parts everywhere. You know, it's just because it was like so, you know, I was back in the day now, and you know, they just remember that's the first time they got laid. They were 15. They were, you know, they were in the back of some car at some beach or whatever, and they heard, you know, that album, that tape was playing in the tape player.
And they listen to that one song. And that's the thing is like those fans that say that, it's like, are you really a fan? Did you listen to all the other songs? Or did you just know All That Remains and did you associate them with this one song? And now it's 20 years later.
They don't like the straight up ballads or whatever. Whatever. Shit happens. Bands get shit for everything. You can't do anything and be... I mean, there are certain bands that can do whatever the fuck they want. Which is hilarious to me. There's always these bands. I'm always like, that band's like one of those sweetheart bands that can just get away with everything.
Metallica.
And I can't. No, Metallica can't.
No, Metallica's been getting shit since the 90s.
Yeah,
at the end of the day, listen, Metallica can come out with anything and it's still going to sell and people are still going to do it and people are still going to tune in way more than anything. Like if Metallica come out with a B-side, but what I'm saying is that they've been rewarded. They're a perfect example of America. We reward people for mediocrity. They compress the shit out of Death Magnetic, which had the potential of being a very good record. Instead, they're like, let's just fuck it. And it still goes platinum because people are still like, Metallica!
Yeah, of course.
We're rewarding them for mediocrity. Load and Reload, they're mediocre. Not in sound quality. Phil was completely correct.
Or just supporting them because they provided you with thousands of hours of entertainment. So, cool. You still support them.
It's like everything in life. There's the extremes. There's the extremes, and there's the middle. And with Metallica, especially,
are there 3 sides to every story, Cory?
Absolutely, like extreme. But you got to imagine there's people that hate shit, people that love shit, and then there's everyone else, and that's most people. And I have a lot of friends. I love.
And those people are quiet. The majority are quiet. You're not going to go on the internet and tell you to die in a van flip fire.
Yeah. What they do is buy the record, and that's why Metallica can survive because their fan base is intact. There's just very vocal assholes on each end.
They're surviving.
Yeah, they're doing okay. They're doing all right.
Kirk Cameron's like, do I sell my Hawaiian third beach house?
Yeah, right.
Damn it.
Benny, you have the fluffiest cat ever.
Yes.
Do you have Lucille?
Yeah, Lucille.
Lucille is the fluffiest cat
Be careful
ever.
though. Don't touch her bum. She might go squirrely.
Usually it's not the first thing I do when I see an animal.
I'm just saying it's
like, cool.
tempting.
What's the name of this cat? Can I stick my finger in its butt? Awesome. Yeah, that's me. I need at least 20 more beers.
I think those can be provided. By the way, can we talk about our sponsor on Lost Symphony? Because the thing that people don't realize is that without Jason, there would be no Lost Symphony. Jason was the guy that gave us first off the credibility to Conrad and Kelly.
Dude, you would have still done it. You guys are great, and your vision is good. But
you brought us Ollie, and I got to tell you that Ollie was the first guy that really said, "Hey, man, I know people, I could do stuff," and like we were just in a basement doing shit, and he was like,
you guys
"I'm going on a cruise with
a million people
and Bubblefoot." And
yeah, but it always amazes me how many people you know. When you're like, I was backstage chilling with Busta Rhymes smoking fucking pot. I'm like, what? And then I'm like, when I first met you, I was like, kid's fucking full of shit.
Yeah, I get that a lot.
9 million pictures on Facebook of you just chilling in someone's background, like back.
Hold on, my favorite comment ever.
All these famous musicians and shit.
My favorite comment ever. People question me all the time because listen, I understand sometimes if I'm like too over the top, which I'm like a little manic, so I get it. So people are like, that guy's totally full of shit. Or like he's really cool. And I have a picture with Fred Durst, and this guy wrote underneath it like, "Hey, who's that old-looking Fred Durst guy with Benny?" I'm like, "It's old-looking Fred Durst." Fred actually looks terrible in that picture. I'm sorry, Fred. He probably looks better now. But literally, yeah. I mean, I've been one of those guys.
Yeah, you would have got it done. You know, from dealing meth. I mean, you know everyone.
It's true. It's true. It's true.
Whatever gets the job done. No one can deny Ben's ability to infect.
Actually, one of my favorite things.
People.
You epitomize social butterfly.
Corey doesn't really give me credit almost ever. The one time we were in our buddy, we're trying to get Ernie Bach on the program. We were in Ernie Bach's
I can't believe
house.
Ernie Bach is a thing here. This is hilarious.
Because
every time I hear Ernie Bach Jr.
Ernie's the man, dude. Ernie's a rock star in his own right.
And then his son is a really good drummer.
His son's an amazing drummer. Yeah. Alex is a great drummer.
Yeah. Nice kid too.
He's a great kid.
Tall as fuck, right?
He's like 6'18".
He's super tall. Yeah.
He's super fucking tall.
Tall guys make good drummers.
But we were in Ernie's like pool house. He has like a Roman Greco pool, and we were with the band Steel Panther. And Corey was a little bit wasted, and we were all hanging out.
We were with Steel Panther, so yeah.
Yeah. I mean, which is obviously like when in Rome.
It's always hilarious to me when you get drunk, Corey. It's fucking funny.
But Corey, listen. The thing I like about Corey is he always lets me know where I stand. So most of the time it's like we gotta redo the track. But
Corey's usually the fist of reality, so him drunk is really funny.
He pulls me in the bathroom. He goes, "Dude, you know what? I'll give you a lot of shit, but like whatever it is about like this social thing, like getting people to like you or whatever it is, you're good at that. You're good."
Gladstone wrote a book about people and what they do and stuff, and I forget. You have a title. I forget. Like I don't know. Maybe like like you're like the Maven or something like that. I don't know. I can't.
The Maven.
I don't. I wish I retained
like a card?
better.
Like a tarot card.
No. So that's from playing Magic the Gathering. No. Yeah, I think it's a personality type.
Mana. Well, I don't tap any women.
You're like one of the personality types that gets out there and you meet people and. That's like your thing. Like that's how you make your waves through life and stuff like that. That's like your life path. And I think I can't remember which book it is that Gladstone wrote, but yeah, basically. But he has a name for everything, you know. So I like his books. I just don't remember.
I'm like a human virus.
Maybe I could probably just read his books all the time.
I'm innocuous enough where I don't kill you, but you still remember me.
Innocuous. That's a good word. I like that word. It starts with an I. That's rare.
It is rare.
Siobhán just got turned on. She's like, did he just really go for syntax? She's like, I don't know a lot about lob. I know a lot about bird.
I love vocabulary and words.
Yeah, she does too. The thing about Jason that's awesome, and I'm so mad. The one thing I'm upset about him not being on Facebook anymore is every time someone take a picture of Spider, you could tag him and Domi, who's Corey's lovely wife, and they would duke it out like what genus of spider it was.
Well, there's no duke it out. She knows her shit. I would just be like, because if I didn't know something, I would just ask her. That was amazing when I first met. I'm like, there's no way I met someone else that likes bugs.
Jason was literally in awe of her when he first met. He pulled me aside.
They're kindred spirits. They talk about like biology stuff.
He was like, she knows more about wandering orb spiders than I do.
Orb spiders don't wander. Asshole. But it's interesting, a little bit to know that certain spiders do wander and you do classify them as that. It's weird that you know that, dude.
Oh, I
think that's Benny's talent is knowing like a little bit of everything, just enough to convince people to do.
My mom
otherwise known as fucking weird.
I had a bug collection in a chocolate box in 2nd grade. My mom would help me suffocate them, which was a very weird bonding experience between my mom and I. And we would find like field spiders and like daddy long legs and all kinds of crazy stuff. And she would help me perfectly mount them. My mom's a fucking weird person.
There you go. Yeah.
And I would give them to like my teacher, be like, and they would think they were getting a chocolate, and they opened it up, and we had like these giant spiders, corn spiders from Wisconsin. That were still kind of moving a little bit because, like, they still do that for a few days after.
I don't like killing them. I let them roam around. I mean, I don't tell my girlfriend because whenever she sees Jason, I gotta run in. I'm like, listen, it's a house centipede. You don't want to kill the damn thing.
Oh my god.
But you want that thing. They're the scariest looking motherfuckers. They're
so scary looking.
They're completely frightening looking, but they're the best thing ever. They're like you ever see what was it?
They do. They eat other bugs
Labyrinth?
or something, right?
You ever see Labyrinth? Like, oh no, the cleaners! And the fucking thing comes down the tunnel, killing everything in its path. Those are those bugs. They're the cleaners, man. They will kill every other bug that would have anything that would annoy you. So all you have to do is deal with them running across the floor at 1,000,000 miles an hour and looking scary. They'll never crawl on you. They'll never bite you. They don't give a shit about you. They're killing everything else that will give a shit about you. Don't kill house centipedes.
Yeah. No, we have a pretty...
That's a good message for
there you go.
Podcast
now you're never
today.
going to get an endorsement from Orkin. Fuck
Save the centipedes.
Kill bugs. Fuck those people.
Yeah, no. As Domi and I have a pretty like open house policy towards beneficial pests. Yeah, no bugs. We kill the shit out of like anything that's like will be bad. But we have spiders. I have a spider living in the corner of my studio. He's cool. He's fine. She. There's she's. If they make a web, there is she. I forgot.
Yes, most of the time there's she. I should know that.
Yeah. Yes. The ones running across your desk, those are he's.
So let me tell you, most of the time you see any insect, it's a she.
Every time I see a spider, I immediately just do that.
Oh my gosh. They're scary looking, I will say.
You're 12. Look at a firecracker.
Did you just figure that out?
I put it in a 7-Up can.
Jason, you're actually equal level of like intelligence and for like we're like you would not expect Jason to be as learned as he is because he's a drummer. I mean, I don't hold it against you.
Yeah, no.
But,
I feel like most drummers that I've met are like very.
Well, Adam reads too.
Studious.
So like, I mean, yeah, Adam Gilbert's a smart guy. We gotta give it to him as well. But I'm constantly amazed by Jason's first off his vernacular. He always wields. He's a wordsmith.
I grew up with people like I grew up like from like 4th grade on past high school with all my friends were like and I wasn't in the AP classes, but all my friends were the AP class kids, and we all played Dungeons and Dragons together. There was like 9 of them. There was 9 of us or so.
That's amazing.
That's how I grew up. Thousands of hours with my friends who I was the stupidest one. I was like the most imbecilic of all of them. Imbecilic. I just made up a word. Is that a word?
It's a great fucking word, dude.
Yeah.
That is a great word.
Yeah, but
he could have used dullard. He could have been a dullard.
I love dullard. That's dullard's good. I like it. Yeah. So I learned a lot.
Necessary letter, Jason.
I learned so much stuff from those guys. I didn't even need to go to school no more. I love living in Boston, by the way. I just want to say Boston is one of my favorite places in the world. I know I tour all over everywhere. Boston, coming back and listening to people speak in Boston.
It's an amazing accent. No, I love it.
Get boring to me. No More is my favorite thing. I use it all. Dude, I don't even like that show no more. No. Oh my God, it's my favorite fucking thing. I gotta tell you this one story. I'm sorry this is such a tangent, but
no, it's great. Please, this is
Quincy.
Awesome.
He's 2020 us.
Quincy is
especially bad.
The Boston accents in Quincy are thick, and that's where I grew up. I love it.
It has its own sect. In Quincy. It's like specifically Quincy.
Oh yeah, in fucking Wally, dude. So
like Wally in particular. C Street.
I dated this Japanese girl for I don't know, a few years.
Well, she's from Wally, obviously.
No. She's from England, but so going out to the bars all the time, you meet people. I know a Japanese girl with English accent. I was psyched. So. So
is that a porn somewhere? I can check it out later.
I don't know. So, you meet a lot of people going out to bars and stuff all the time. You know me, I'm a barfly, and you end up drinking with everyone. And so I go away on tour for a couple months or whatever, and I come back, and I'm the first day I'm home. I'm like, Quincy, I love it here. And I go to Dunkin' Donuts, which is like, any way I walk in any direction, 2 seconds is Dunkin' Donuts.
Totally.
Well, the first Dunkin' Donuts ever was from Quincy.
Dunkin' Donuts, that's who you need as a sponsor, Dunkin' Donuts. Dunkin' Donuts, fucking coffee ever.
Well, the first Dunkin' Donuts ever is from Quincy, Massachusetts.
Starbucks tastes like Bette Midler's piss.
But when did you try Bette Midler's piss, Jason?
Disgusting. So I walk into this Dunkin' Donuts, and there's this guy standing there that I don't know his name, but I know because I've done a million shots with him at the Irish pub. There's no even name for the bar. The name of the bar is the
Irish pub. Is what it's actually called.
And it's this old neon sign. I love the fucking place. It's great. The IP, dude. So I get in there. There's this guy. He's standing in front of me waiting for coffee as the line. And he turns around. He's like, yo, dude, what's up, man? I'm like, hey, how you doing? And I don't know his name. I'm like, hey, what's up, guy? And he's like, dude, how's the fucking music thing going? You just get back from tour? I'm like, yeah. It's not cool. Still fucking dating that Chinese chick or what? What am I gonna say?
That is such an innocent question from a Bostonian too.
I know.
That's like a genuine
I'm like, do I correct him and be like, no, actually, she's from Japan, but she lives in England. No, so I was like, yeah. That's my story. And then I ordered my fucking, medium-iced coffee with just some milk.
Yeah. That's my favorite thing about like the real Bostonian, I don't even know what it is, species.
Species.
I love it.
I have so many friends that are, they're all tradesmen. And those, when people think of the Boston accent, it's tradesmen. It's plumbers, carpenters, carpenters, plumbers.
Jesse Fugai.
The fucking
not just
guy.
Tradesmen. It's not just tradesmen, though. Have you heard our mayor speak?
That's true. But the thing is, they're the nicest people in the world. But their approach to everything would be considered offensive if you didn't actually know that.
Abrasive, maybe.
It's so it's so innocent.
Yeah. It doesn't mean anything.
No, but it's authentic.
It doesn't
I love
mean
that.
anything.
It's like everyone's so honest.
It is. It's just good, hardworking people with crazy accents that bust balls. As I tell everyone, don't take me serious ever, because I talk with a bunch of my friends all the time. Living in Quincy and Boston, and I bust balls just naturally, and I don't really mean anything by it. If you know me, you know I'm a nice guy, and I don't really, I'm not going to punch you in the face because you said something dumb.
There's a culture in this area, and I think that it's actually a really important culture, the ball busting culture.
I love it. I think it's amazing.
Especially these days.
But it keeps people honest. It doesn't let
you go out to California and everybody's like, yeah, dude, let's hang out on Tuesday.
You got to be
Tuesday
careful.
never fucking comes, dude.
Yeah.
In Boston, they're like,
totally
you fucking
agree.
smell, motherfucker.
Totally
I don't want to
agree.
hang out with you.
That's something about tour. That's a thing.
Like
sometimes you got to
Bette Midler's piss.
Bette Midler's fucking piss. But
fucking guy, if you ain't drinking Dunkin', I don't even fucking trust you, bro. You fucking
it ain't
suck.
Donkey. Give me my fucking dunks.
God fucking damn it. Something
French
about those
vanilla.
fucking eggs.
French
Those eggs,
if
Dude,
you don't
crockify it.
If you don't have friends that give you shit for wearing tight pants on stage or
anything.
Doing anything.
Or doing anything ever. Nothing. You can't do anything without getting your balls busted constantly by someone you know.
Yeah. No, dude. I think
it keeps life interesting. Keeps you on your fucking toes.
It's the most honest
Keeps you on your fucking toes, guy.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, if people aren't shitting on me, I don't know what to do with myself. It's those are my real friends make me feel like shit, and that's really important to me.
Well, as a producer, that's extremely important. That's why you're such a great mixing engineer, because literally everyone shits on you. So you're like, this is the best I can do.
Bullshit.
I think it's funny. We go back to like joining All That Remains and stuff. I think they had a million drummers playing that were great drummers and stuff like that, and good people. I think I just fit in a little bit more because I was from Massachusetts, and when you're touring and stuff like that, you gotta kind of watch what you say. Everyone from you go to different countries, Japan or England or Europe or anywhere else. Sometimes if you're from Boston and you talk a certain way, then you got to watch it because not everyone gets sarcasm. When you do it, you deadpan it. That's the thing that Bostonians do. Yeah, you deadpan, and you're not even doing it on purpose. You're not like, I'm going to deadpan the sarcasm to bust this guy. No. Well, you just kind of just naturally do it.
You just speak sarcasm.
People just think, dude, what the fuck? Like, what the fuck did that guy just say? Like, you can see them look like, what's happening now? Are we going to get into a fight? Is this going to be some confrontation? And then you got to be like, no, dude, I'm just fucking around. Let me get you a shot.
I'm just from Boston, bro. I'm sorry. This is just my face.
Yeah, I've actually had to say that quite a few times in my life. Like, oh no, I'm not serious. Sorry. Like, I'm just busting balls.
I would love to get a podcast going with Jason and Richard Shaw. I think you two would be hilarious between the tour stories and just like the fact that you guys, he's in Cradle of Filth and you guys have like that kind of shared experience, but also his demeanor and his sense of humor.
That's a British thing though, because I was gonna say like I grew up with a Scottish mother, and most of my family's from Scotland, and that kind of like
awesome.
Such
that
good
kind of
deadpan, like cynical, sarcastic. Yeah, it's very similar. Like that's what I love about Boston is it does kind of remind me. It does kind of remind me of like the Scottish way. Everyone's so like sarcastic and like always like making fun of you, and that's just like how it is. Yeah.
That's the fun part is that you don't take anything seriously,
right?
And you make fun of everyone.
Yep, like literally everyone.
It's the definition of equality.
That's why Family Guy is sort of based Massachusetts. Why they never really say.
We hate everybody equally here.
Yeah, but that's what it is. It's very, very Bostonian way of that the Family Guy is perfect. They bust everyone's balls, and it borderline inappropriate or sometimes actually inappropriate. But it's just the way it is. It's kind of funny. It's just a communication type of thing, So you don't like me, don't talk to me.
Yeah.
Just like a band you don't like, don't listen to me.
Yeah.
Don't listen to us.
But no one gets that nowadays. Now it's like, well, why don't you like me?
Yeah. Or I don't like you because of this.
Yeah.
I've got 17 reasons that stem back from when I was 5 years old. When I was on a Ferris wheel and I got stuck at the top and I couldn't get my drink.
You know what makes me want to stick a fucking thing through my eyes when someone starts a conversation and says, well, you didn't like my picture. And I'm just like, and then I just want to fucking blow my own head off because
who says that?
Social media kind of drives.
But so many people take it so seriously. Who says that? Everyone. Have you seen my story? Did you see my fucking video? Did you? No! I fucking hate myself. I only post because I'm insecure. You think I take selfies as a 37-year-old man because I want to? No, I have to fucking post to feel alive. And if you guys don't fucking give me 60 or more likes, I'll probably delete it because I can't even fucking stand to think that I made such a low bar, even for myself, even knowing I had great photographers take great pictures of what I thought was awesome. But in fact, no one loves me enough even to give me the little fucking heart.
I love that your whole outlook on life is interchangeable with like a 16-year-old girl.
Do you know what ruined me for social media? Someone, I forget, it was one of my friends was like, dude, can you imagine? And of course we were like at a bar, like, like picture Facebook or Instagram and like every picture that someone has on their page is you walk into their house and those are the pictures that are in their house. And I immediately thought of like 3 people that I know. I'm like, motherfucker, really? You're that much of an asshole? Really? I like immediately thought, I really want to say his name, but I can't. There's this one person I'm like, oh my God, what a narcissistic piece of shit.
That's a really good, that's a good point.
That's you walk into those are the pictures that they have hanging around their house. Like that's their house.
Yeah.
That's
it's all
really
pictures
good.
of them.
Wow.
I would picture me and Mike Patton. Is that narcissistic? Like it's in my studio. I feel like I am narcissistic.
No, but imagine some people where their whole feed is just like selfies. Yeah, could you imagine you walk into someomes
house themselves for like no other reason? They're not with Nelson Mandela or some shit. They're just like having a good day.
No,
this fucking
dude,
angle,
Tuesday,
that fucking angle.
Oh yeah, no, that's fucking insanity.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But then it's like every day is 17 different posts of you doing 17 different things. Like I don't, like you're hanging. Oh, this is my new ceiling fan. Fucking awesome, cool. I hate Facebook. I'm out of here. Sorry, I just ruined your Facebook sponsorship.
No, it's fine.
We're sponsored by MySpace anyway and Friendster. So
Yay, MySpace, Friendster. I never was on MySpace or Friendster. I should have probably did that.
I'm having like this weird image of like Jason's Instagram page being him posting selfies for like.
Hold on a second though. Wait a minute.
No, I used to get Jason, so much shit for Instagram.
Jason Jason just said he was never on MySpace. So wait, who was the guy that was in my top 10 then? Because I definitely had Jason Costa in my top 10 on MySpace.
There's like 17 more Jason Costas that actually live in and around Quincy. And one is a drummer, and the other is the singer from Byzantine, right? The singer from Byzantine is Jason Costa.
Jay Costa, That Will Be Done, isn't it?
Yeah. Sorry, not Byzantine then. Maybe it's That Will Be Done.
That Will Be Done.
I love that guy. We hang out with like Jason Costa. What's up, Jay Costa? What's up? So fucking with both musicians. It's the weirdest thing.
Funny story. So That Will Be Done. Weird ass story. I auditioned for them. Way fucking back when.
We're in that band now. That's fucking hilarious.
A kid, Kurt, their other guitarist. I went to high school with him, and we played in a bunch of bands in the same scene. And Rob Gill, who's a phenomenal guitarist and engineer.
That name rings a bell.
Rob is now on tour with a bunch of people. Like he's actually Sammy Hagar's guitar tech. He used to work at Longview Farm Studios.
I believe it. I've never met the guy, but he wrote a majority of their kind of debut.
Rob Gill's amazing. Yeah,
and it was phenomenal. And so, but he didn't want to tour with them, I guess, at the time. So they were looking for guitarists.
He's doing like front of house for Adele, by the way. Like he tours like the world, like doing like front of house for like stadiums.
That's awesome.
I believe it.
He's insanely good.
He's one of those guys that I never met, but I have immense respect for because I got the CD, the demo of his riffs, and I was like, I have no fucking idea.
My first show ever was with his band Any Hostility at the fucking Espresso Bar in Worcester in 1997. Any Hostility. He played a Rivera amp. And he was so happy that I remembered that because he was like, that was one of my, I played Rivera back then. And he actually was working at Longview Farm Studios where I recorded with the band Carve. And I had a PRS Dragon. And to this day, he's still like, you know what, dude? I feel like I made it when I go and set up for like Adele, but like, I don't have a PRS Drag. And he still gives me shit. Like he's like, bringing me backstage at Sammy Hagar, but he's still like, remember that PRS Dragon you had?
Ben, you ever play the Space in Worcester?
Oh my, the Space, yes.
The Space.
Oh my God, who was the creepy old dude that used to run the Space?
Was it Lloyd? Was it Lloyd? I feel like it could have been Lloyd, dude. Because Lloyd owned another venue in Worcester.
It was right across from the Denholm building on Main Street. Yes, because I used to wheel shit into that building because he'd have bands.
The Space had a real shitty load in.
No, because honestly, because I feel like every town, like back in here's the thing is you could have had a scene back in the day. Worcester had a scene, and there was always that creepy guy that used.
Worcester always had a scene.
But I'm saying, but there's towns everywhere in the country at one point in the 90s where they had the Lloyds of the world that would have. They would rent PA systems and they would turn other places into makeshift clubs, and they would have bands du jour.
Thank God they did that. I wish there was more of that now.
There aren't even bands around. Like, that's the thing is it's crazy because, back in the day, you could go see, like, when Diecast was playing, you could go on a Thursday night to Jared's place. I say that place in North Attleboro. And there would be people
Attleboro, not North Attleboro.
Attleboro. And there'd be people there on a Thursday night just fucking because they're like, there's a band playing. I like rock and roll and I drink alcohol. And because there wasn't that social media and there was bands, and there were good bands. Even when they did like those competitions like Local Bazooka, there was good rosters where you would actually see other local bands and be like, those guys are good. Now, like if I see a local band, I mean, I don't even go to local bands. I'm such an elitist anyway. But like when I see a band that I even think is good now, I'm like, holy shit, somebody practiced. But like back in the day, every band was good. You understood why they brought people to shows. But
every band wasn't good. Every band was not good.
I was just gonna say that. Dude, I was in so many bands that weren't good.
But there was a lot of bands. Even talking about Jared's place there, that was a place where
like those guys that killed your guitar.
Yes, so we told my guitar smash. But that was the venue. But to be fair, Jared's place was the one place that illegally allowed me to play in front of tons of people when I was underage. Like I love that place.
Thank you.
I got to play.
St. Morgan's Cove did. I did that in Worcester.
Yeah. Get these places that let me, when I was 14, 15 years old, dreaming to be a rock star, got to play in front of these crowds because for some reason those crowds back then, in 200-300 people, that's how I cut my teeth. Right? That's why, like I was talking earlier, and I think it was the previous podcast, where I said that I didn't really have stage fright until I went to a gig that I had to like cram for and like wasn't really familiar with the music. But I've been playing in front of drunk assholes since I was 14 because of places like Jared's place that like, oh no, whatever, you're underage, just we're gonna put some X's on your hand, don't drink that much.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think that like the scene back then was weird. We have a friend Joel who was in Drop 360 and
Joel Hawkins.
Drop 360, I remember.
And that was a band. That was a band that let a band like mine at the time open for them. Or at least got us into those venues where we were able to get in front of like this crowd of people that went out on the weekends to hear live music.
Mine was Gangsta Bitch Barbie, and I'm still friends with Jim Foster.
Yeah.
Gangsta Bitch Barbie.
Null Set, Gangsta Bitch Barbie.
I used to play with Candy Striper Death Orgy.
Oh my God.
Wow, that is a name.
Phenomenal.
My favorite name ever, and tell me if you remember this, Jason, was the Sweatpant Boners.
That one's good. That's Ken Susi, right? It was Ken Susi.
Yeah, I think so.
I like Feces Pieces. That's a real fucking band. I'm not joking. Go look it up.
Hold on. Do you remember Rob? My buddy Rob, he used to do commentary for the Red Sox, had a band called Full Blown AIDS.
Yeah, Impotent Sea Snakes. That was another one. And they actually were, no joke, that band was actually kind of like a thing for all. They were actually getting big, the Impotent Sea and sexploitation.
Oh my God.
Not even joking, these old Boston bands.
Wow.
Remember Wargasm?
I remember Wargasm. Paul was in Wargasm. Paul Lorenzo.
Yeah, that was the first local band I fell in love with.
Lorenzo. Oh my God, I did it with Michael Mooney. Michael Mooney was in Wargasm.
Oh my God.
From T-Town.
I remember that drummer took lessons from the same guy I was taking lessons from.
Was it Dick DeCenzo?
Barry Spielberg. No. John Hargan. There was two drum teachers in this area that everyone took lessons from. It was either John Hargan or Dick DeCenzo. And Dick DeCenzo owned the drum shop on the corner there in Quincy Center and with the big sign.
Legendary.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah.
And his son Dave is a great drummer.
Dave is ridiculous. Yeah, absolutely. Actually, I was trying to get in touch with Dave because I wanted to take some lessons from him like last year. Even I want to tighten up on a few things. I know.
Hold on, kid, take a moment. Kids, this is one of the best metal drummers in the world, and he just said he still wants to take lessons.
You can learn from anyone.
No, I know you can.
He's phenomenal. I can learn a lot from him.
But one of the messages of our show is that
we talk about this all the time.
We love when we hear people be humble and talk about how they learn, or how how Dave from Pearl Jam only got paid $400 a month each as a bandmate when they were at their prime because they were just trying to keep money from pay the label back. And it's just amazing to hear stuff, taking lessons, like how people lived, not getting a record contract until this or that. So it's awesome to hear that you still, because Dick DeCenzo in this area.
Dick DeCenzo was the last lessons I took, actually, and that was about 5 years ago.
Big deal.
I got some bad habits.
Almost as big deal as Buddy Guy. I mean, Buddy Rich.
Yeah. I got some bad habits from touring and stuff, and it happens. And I needed to redo the way I play with my left hand. I play traditional grip, so it's not usually meant for metal. So I had to bastardize the grip, and I had to relearn a couple things and like how to use this use my index finger as a trigger for bouncing and stuff. And I just, for some reason, just couldn't really remember the positioning and stuff like that. So, and instead of I could watch videos and stuff like that, but I I'm old. So I want to go to someone. And Dick DeCenzo is an older guy and he's fantastic. He's not around anymore. He taught a billion awesome drummers. So I went to him and he tightened me up.
That's awesome.
He gave me a what for.
That's amazing.
Yeah. That was a few. I took like 3 or 4 lessons from him just to, get it going again, learn some different hand positions and how to do certain things, and to just get it so because I felt like maybe I wasn't getting tendonitis, but I could feel a little tight.
Yeah,
and
tension.
You're in the danger zone at that point.
Yeah.
You're not doing something right, and so I want to make sure that technique isn't just to fucking play wicked fast or to play, technique is to help you express yourself and also keep yourself safe at the same time.
Yeah.
Otherwise you will blow your career with a bad bag. So many awesome drummers I've met in my life. I'm not going to name anyone, but they have so many troubles. They've got massive amounts of tendonitis. They got to have massages before and after they play shows and stuff like that. It's really sad because their technique, no one ever taught them, and it's not their fault. Even some guys who are fantastic drummers, you have no idea the pain that they're in sometimes.
Yeah.
Because, you're smashing things.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's a lot of impact. Yeah.
Yeah. And now I don't know what we were talking about because that was a tangent, and I'm sorry.
No, that was
we were
a great
talking about all
tangent.
the
I'm getting a
things. That was
contact
great.
high from Benny.
It's coming. It's wafting underneath
No,
the door.
Just
Thing is,
slamming blunts over there.
We're coming up on the final stretch here.
Well, we could do it a little bit extra long because I know Jason likes to stick it in just a little bit harder. It's just his style, isn't it?
Sometimes I can be
Maybe he
extreme.
just wants to hang out, have some beers, off
Yeah,
the air.
right.
You never know.
Well, first off, I want to say thank you so much to Jason because, to see him at my front door, I was excited because I haven't seen other human beings.
Sure.
It's so fucking long.
No, I'm glad you're doing this. I called you randomly the other day to say, that your new album I liked a lot. So, I just thought I'd give you a call.
LostSymphony.com.
Yeah. Just tell you that everything sounds
We need
great.
a quote. Hold on. Jason, we need a quote for
Did you listen to the record?
Yeah.
What'd you think?
Yeah, I listened to the CD. I put it in my car. Still, for some reason, I drive a fucking Chrysler 300, which isn't a Maybach or anything like that. But
I know I saw it on my ring.
It still has a CD player in it. So
Someone's
I
taking your fucking.
it came to my place where I live, and I'm like, it's a CD. I'll put it in my car. And then right after I listened to it, I called Benny.
Do you know what's funny is that the last CD I bought was the All That Remains CD, and I just took it out today because it's sitting on the chair right next to you because I thought maybe he'll sign it or something. But I haven't. That's the only CD in my car. It was the last time I bought an actual record was when you guys came out with your last record.
I would still, if I could go to stores and buy, people's albums, I would, but it just doesn't really. Doesn't do it. What I go Best Buy, and it's so sad. You go to Best Buy now, and you're there, and you're looking for whatever band, pick whatever band that you went on tour with, and you're like, what if the new album's here? And it's just like, I don't know what it feel like. It just looks like a corn, like a cob of corn that's been eaten already. There's like 3 measly pieces hanging on by threads.
So what did you think of the record though? Did you listen through it? Did you have any thoughts?
It was kind of like the corn that's been eaten.
Can you shit on, as a Bostonian, can you shit on it, please, a little bit?
It didn't get digested very well.
It digested well.
No, it's great, actually. And one of the things I was saying, the production on it, it's got to be and I don't know my ass from my elbow because I'm not, as far as production and engineering and stuff goes, but I do know when you have 9 million fucking instruments playing, it's got to be hard to get it to sound good.
Poor Cory.
It sounds good. You can hear everything going, and that's not. I know that's not easy.
Our PR people hate.
That's a huge compliment. That is hard to do.
Our PR people are like, we don't want to talk about mixing and mastering. We want to talk about how good the music is. That's what Dave Abraziz is. I said it wrong. Dave Abraziz said too. He was like,
obviously,
the production and the quality and the mixing was great.
This is a repeat compliment.
Dude,
a lot of people have said that.
Okay, well, sorry.
I need a variant.
Well, let me explain.
Tell me something else you like about us, Jason.
Let him talk. He's
obviously the talent and the playing on it is fucking phenomenal. That's retarded to fucking even bring that up. You have the best players in the world on the fucking album. Of course it is. I was trying to give you a compliment to somewhere I thought it would mean something. But I'm like, Marty Friedman did a great job. Yeah, well, no fucking shit, Marty Friedman did a great job. Jesus Christ. Throw his guitar to a corner and somehow it would sound awesome. It would harmonize perfectly.
That's the one I want to use.
I was trying to give you a compliment, Benny, like the way it came out and was mixed in sounds and everying. It came out great. It sounds great.
Thank you.
I know
that
you
is
just
a great
joking.
compliment. Thank you.
Ben, did you play Leave Well Enough Alone for Jason?
He has not heard the mixed version of it because, to my knowledge, Jason has not really acknowledged our existence other than signing a contract and saying good job as we took shots of Crown Royal.
I was drunk.
Well, after our set here, you should let him check it out.
Well, you should send it to him because I think he likes you more than me. I'll play it for him, Jason. If you don't mind, I'd love to play you.
He does date someone that knows about entomology.
Entomology.
I don't blame. Listen, Domi is unbelievable, and
look at those
fantastic.
fucking for a pile.
I know they know exactly when it's the end of the episode. They did the same thing last time. They're like, "Oh, mommy's almost done."
Intuitive.
No, but Jason, I think that your contributions to the project have been far beyond just playing drums, because you brought Ollie to us. So that's the biggest thing that could have happened. And
I knew he'd love it.
Yeah, and we love you. We love hanging out with you. We love the fact that you came out, and you're our first kind of in-person guest we've had, which is great.
Guys.
But so
no, this
I think
is so fun.
I wish we all lived closer.
Yeah, I know, right? I think
although that'd be dangerous.
This has gone by so fast. We're gonna have to schedule something else soon.
Oh, yeah,
this actually went by wicked fast.
Yeah.
It's amazing how much more tolerable I am from a room over, Jason.
That's what you think. I can hear you screaming at the top of your lungs over there.
So
now, this is why I have to scream. I understand now.
Yes.
Oh my God.
Thank you, Jason, man. It's a pleasure.
Thank you so much. No, this was so fun.
I can't.
Oh, this is a blast, actually. Yeah.
I'm jealous of Ben, but I can't wait to do a shot with you again soon.
Sure.
And
I'll get my liver back in working order.
We are going to play you the song because so that everyone knows that was the song that was the archetype for everybody when we sent it out to all the other famous people that played on this record, thanks to Ollie and thanks to Jason. But this was the song that everyone was like, "Oh my God, that's bananas!" Jason Sukoff, for example, who worked with you guys, early on, was
love Jason Sukoff. Talk about a guy with ADD.
He was like, "This is the closest thing to cacophony I've heard in forever. This is crazy." And this was before we even had Ollie, and it was the song that you played on, and the first thing that Peter Morticelli from Metal Blade Records said to us.
I never saw anyone smoke out of a volcano before him. I was like, what is that thing that looks like
He wheels himself around, and he fucking puts the volcano down.
I was like, "What? You're smoking out of a hot air balloon. What is that thing?" And he's like, "Come try it." And I'm like, "No."
No. Dude, I was there when August Burns Red was recording, and those guys are like straight edge, and it was just like you can't smoke around them. I'm like, "Oh, I'm sorry."
Great dudes, though.
Yeah, good. They're a good band. I was
sometimes,
just like, "But why you guys
straight edge bands
fun
they get a little bit of a rep of like being sticks in the mud or whatever." Nicest guys and fantastic. That drummer is fucking awesome.
Well, I mean, there's no question of their talent.
Yeah.
But that said, thank you so much, Jason, for coming on, and we do love you,
Jason.
and thank you for like breaking. It was so nice to see you at the door, and we wish you success, and we are so thankful that you brought us Ollie. And I will play you "Leave Well Enough Alone" because what I was getting at was that's the song we sent to everybody, and even without anybody else, the first question Peter Morticelli asked us was, "Is this real drums?" And the answer is no. It's just the space alien that is Jason Costa. And he played it on a 24-inch kick drum, which I remember, quote unquote, and this is something you would say, you said it was like running in wet sand on the beach when you were playing kick drum.
Yeah. I think it was a slug covered in salt going uphill watching the McNeil Lever Report.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, because you played it on a 24-inch kick drum. And you're like, this was not meant for blast beats.
No. It's not meant for it. Kick 24s are tough to move. They are.
Yeah, man. But you killed it.
And it's going to be on Chapter 2, which we are announcing. It's going to be out in September, so stay tuned for that. And thank you, Jason, so much. And you've been 2020'd 2020-d.com. Thank you so much. And check out All That Remains. We'll see you guys next week.
All right.
Cheers, guys.
Cheers.